He's biting him. Oh, he's biting the boot? You think he's trying to bite a hole in the boot so that then he can, well, because then his feet would be exposed and then he could step on his toes.
Maybe he's just trying to hurt his feet so then he can't walk.
Well, that too, but biting a shoe seems
disgusting.
Silly. Well, sure. I just feel like if you wanted to hurt somebody's foot, you could step on the shoe, you could kick the shoe, you could take the shoe with your hands and lift it in the air and then throw the foot back on the ground. But to bite a shoe, I just don't know how much damage you're really doing.
I don't know.
But to quote a great man, it's not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
When you said great man at first, I thought you were talking about your dad, and then you said that, and then I realized
my dad is a great man. He didn't say that line though.
I know, that was Jack Black.
My dad told me that Brady, you're gonna be short and you're gonna be bald.
Tell me this.
You don't want to be short, bald, and fat. Yep. Being short and bald is fine, but once you get the trifecta in there, that's when you're in trouble. Yeah, greatest piece of advice I have ever been given in my life.
It's a great piece of advice.
Fantastic.
Imagine you were short, bald, and fat.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
I'd be Danny DeVito.
So you are short. So you're admitting you're short. Noted.
You're short.
I'm not short. I'm taller than average height for a woman.
Well, yeah, you're tall for a woman, and I'm short for a man. But really, at 5'8.5", I really think people should leave me alone.
You know how you know you're short? Because you added the half. My mom.
That's because you said you're 5'8.5".
No, I'm not. I never said I'm 5'8.5". I said I'm 5'8".
Well, then maybe it's just because I'm taller than you, so that's how I know I'm 5'8.5".
You're not taller.
You're 5'8".
We literally had this whole thing.
Tower above you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Okay, are you?
When you're sitting on your fucking pedestal, maybe.
You're distracting me from this match is what's happening.
Sorry.
This is a watch along. Instead, I feel like I'm watching in spite of whatever is happening on your side of the screen.
I'm about to go on the left side of the screen. You better watch it.
You better stop. His gear is so loud. I think it's supposed to let me know that I have to cheer him.
Those belts are so funny. Yeah, they're primary colors, brother.
I love MXM.
They're hilarious.
They're so good.
Yeah, if you wear yellow,
like if what they're doing by stealing the tag team title and remaking it over, if that doesn't actually get them the tag team titles, I don't know what will.
It's not gonna get them because ROH doesn't know how to do stuff.
No, like they had them lose the title match just this past weekend, but they're continuing the storyline, so it does keep me hopeful that they are in fact going to, stick with it, not like what they did with the Righteous, where it kind of just you forget about it.
Remember the Righteous?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
He's the middle child of the family. He considers himself the black sheep.
I know we're live, but I need to tell you my internet is being a little shoddy. So if you lose me, it's because of my internet.
Oh no, they're setting it up again.
Okay,
It'll come back.
All right,
it'll come back. I just gotta let you know. No, I just gotta let you know.
Okay,
it went off a couple of times for this. And luckily, I'll come back and be on the left hand side.
Ooh!
You're ahead of me.
Maybe you're behind. You ever think of that?
No, I am, because you're ahead of me. Where else would I be? On the side?
Not at all. And Panther looking for somebody to tag, and there's nobody in his corner. That's the most hurting feeling you can have when you're looking for somebody to tag.
I like his mask.
In the corner.
There's Fuego. He can tag in Fuego now.
Fuego.
Did you get confused when you saw Fuego del Sol and Fuego both on the same card?
100%. I was like, 2 matches? I was like,
who does he think he is? Serpentico?
Yeah. Who's he? Yeah. Was Serpentico wasn't on this match this week, huh? On the card.
Right. They heard
you.
They heard you talk about how he's Mr. ROH, Mr. TV, Mr. Every Thursday.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we need to give this man a break.
Wow, that was fancy. Oops.
Woo.
Ouch. That looks like it hurts. Here comes another one. Boom. 3 ways. Oh, that was okay. Oh, here we go. Woo! Wow.
I
Our
like.
Panther's good. What's in his cup?
Apple juice.
No, it looked like he had cookies in it, which makes me think he's drinking a milk with like cookies swimming in it, which would be
Cookies.
glorious.
Biscoff. He's probably drinking an espresso then.
While singing Sabrina Carpenter.
Singing what?
Sabrina Carpenter. Have you heard of her?
Yeah, I heard of her. I love her.
Whoa! Sammy can fly. Bro, I'm not going to lie. I thought Sammy was going to be so much bigger than he is in 2025. Like, this is crazy.
I think he got married, had a baby, and that did it.
No.
Like, they took time off, and he came back, and that was it. He didn't have his steam anymore.
No, but wasn't there like they didn't take him off TV because he was expecting. There was something that happened, like another.
We got suspended for fighting with someone, no?
I don't think he was fighting. I think it was that Jeff Hardy spot, or maybe I'm confusing suspensions. I feel like there was like
Right.
a
An
spot
incident?
that went bad,
An
and he was blamed for it. Yeah.
Maybe.
And then, like, in that time that he was off TV, maybe that was when he had a baby and all that fun stuff.
Well, he didn't have a baby. His wife had a baby, but yes.
They had a baby as a team.
You can't have a baby as a team.
You can't have a baby as a one person.
You 100% can have a baby as a one person.
No, it takes two.
Not to have the baby, to create the baby, yes. Would you wear tights if you were a wrestler? Your party pants?
Shush. They feel like commentary is trying to tell us something that happened that we missed on the cameras to set up like an attack that's about to happen. Like they were asking for an anger angle. Like, I don't know if you caught that. I'm like, I didn't catch that.
Wait a minute. What's happening?
Whoa. Monsoon's getting mad.
Wait, what's happening?
What the fuck was that?
What was any of that? That wasn't a botch, right? He was supposed to do that?
I think what he did where he kind of like did that 619 move in the ropes was designed to make his opponent go through it. I just don't know why his opponent was running that way.
That was cool.
Woo!
He was like one of those spinny fairy things I used to pull as a kid. This match is very funny.
Oh my god.
This match is very messy.
You're very messy.
Ooh, that was good. Oh, that was awesome.
Ooh, oh shit.
Oh shit. What just happened?
Oh shit.
No, there's no oh shit.
Oh, never mind. That was sloppy.
What just happened?
Ooh.
They're funny. Well, it's you, Brady, when you're dancing.
Huh?
You'll see it.
Oh.
Just where we started. The World Champions. Single leg roll through this unorthodox offense. Friendly offense. Off the ropes. Leapfrog. Guevara. Back up his feet. Like knee. Bro trying to regain control for his team.
So I'll be honest, I have no idea what lucha rules mean, and at this point, I'm too embarrassed to ask.
I'm gonna Google it.
Okay.
So then you won't be embarrassed.
I mean, I'm still embarrassed, but appreciate you.
Don't be embarrassed.
Don't tell me how to feel.
I would appreciate it if you weren't embarrassed. How about that?
Oh, shit.
Oh, what's happening? Oh.
Hijinks. Hijinks indeed. Oh.
There's too many for me to list.
Oh. Whoa. What the? Oh, shit.
Wait a minute. Hechicero. Who is this man? Soberano Jr. Sammy Guevara had Hechicero, one of the top stars in CMLL, on his shoulders.
Wow. I did not see that one coming. I mean, I'm glad that's the way they did it, but I really did just assume that Team Babyface was going to win this one.
There was a lot going on in this match that didn't make sense. I was a little confused. Like, I don't know if they were missing spots or they were supposed to. They looked like they were wrestling nobody at one point. They looked like the Invisible Man was in there. What was
Oh, Hechicero touching tips.
that? Ew.
That's funny.
Hit him with it.
Oh, wait a minute. Watch out, brother. There's two baby faces behind you. You're going to lose the belt. You should have just left when you had the chance.
Oh, no.
Run.
This is a great gimmick. I don't know what. WWE's dumb.
Throw the belt. Get out with it. Oh, no. Don't leave it behind. Oh. Let it go, Mansoor. Save yourself. Oh, no. Poor Mansoor.
Good sell.
Ooh, great sell. Well, Mason certainly listened to him. He's saving himself.
Save yourself.
They're so funny together.
Yeah, they're great. They're best buds.
Their comic timing is through the roof.
What a great shot.
He is such a funny guy.
Houston. Remember when we interviewed
He's
him?
easily one of the most unserious wrestlers in all of television.
Remember when we interviewed him?
I do. That's because I've got the memory of a fox.
Do foxes have good memories?
Obviously, they have good memories, Danielle. Why would I brag about having the memory of an animal that doesn't have a good memory? Come on now.
I feel
Come
like
on now.
I'm
going to say it one more time. Come on now. Come on.
You're aggressive.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best wrestling podcast around, hosted by Brady and Danielle, the Heel Mob.
From Brooklyn to your living room, it's the best podcast to listen to. Morning, even afternoon, hear clever blind girl and a Jew talk about wrestling. They do it 24/7, cause they love to speak on it every week. That's why they are best friends, and they're back once again for some wrestling talk. So sit back, relax, it's time for Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends. We are back once again. I'm the custodian of charisma. I'm the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. Together, we are the best friends in all the land. Together, I am Brady. She's Danielle, and we are the Heel Marks. And this is everybody's favorite Ring of Honor after show. That's right. After ROH, after Ring of Honor, you get Mark of Honor, and that is exactly what this is, the Ring of Honor after show. It just finished, and most of you were kind enough to grab yourself a seat and enjoy the watch along with us. That main event we just finished, the Lucha Classic. But let's get into the entire show. Danielle, what do you make of tonight's festivities, tonight's masterpiece, tonight's event that did not feature an ROH flashback?
It didn't feature an ROH flashback. Love that very much. I like that I got to see a few new faces and some old faces we haven't seen in a while, so that was a little fun. All in all, it was an okay show. It wasn't some of their best that we've been seeing in the past couple of weeks. Right, it was good.
Yeah, last few weeks definitely were delivering in more of our wish list every week, like things we want to see. Boom, they were checking. This week, not so many backstage segments. I'm thinking like one, and that was kind of just a showing of something they already released online featuring the frat house, which is funny. Let's talk about the frat house. I mean, we talked about it the first week when Jack Jameson encounters these guys backstage. The entire segment was funny. We're like, these guys have chemistry. Jack Jameson kind of needs a new home now, and we're like, this could work. So I love that now they didn't waste any time just uniting all four as the frat house. These are the bros. These are a team. It's not like we had to see Jack Jameson continuing to try and pledge the fraternity. I didn't want to see that. It's not like he's going to be the whipping boy and they're going to make him earn stripes. Not going to be that. They were very quick to accept him, and now we've got bros for life.
Yeah, I love this gimmick. I think it's hilarious. I love the name of it. It gives me Neighbors, the movie Neighbors vibes, which I don't know why, but it just makes me laugh a lot. And
no, 100%, because the truth is, like, I can't really think of an act that took one of the most hated things about American culture, which is, of course, fraternities and sororities in the Greek life. And I say that as a member of a fraternity.
You say that as.
Yes, of course, as a member of the Greek life. But yeah, like those people, that group, the whole thing is just so easy to hate. And we've seen it in movies like Neighbors, where you can easily make the frat boys just be the heels of the movie, that you can also redeem them, because at the end of the day, they are just college kids. But it's also very easy to take advantage of the fact that they're easy to hate. It's very easy to take advantage of the fact that just by default, the second I tell you I'm in a fraternity, my face gets at least 33 to 47% more punchable. That is a fact. That is science.
That's true.
So using them as heels in wrestling is one of those things where you're kind of like, what took them so long? And in a company like AEW and Ring of Honor, where they do have, and especially, I guess, with all the companies, we live in a world where the athletes on TV are, by average, a lot younger than they were in the past decades.
Right.
So it's easier to accommodate something, a heel lifestyle, which is still relatively young. You don't see
a broy lifestyle.
Boys. Exactly. And I love it. I tell you, I would have big plans for the frat house if I was on the Ring of Honor writing team.
They can make them really, they can make really good merch for them. Very sellable merch. They could do a lot of good stuff.
Merch that anyone would want, like wrestling fans would want to buy.
Beer koozie,
even if
done.
They're not.
Just do a beer koozie.
Oh God.
Beer koozie, done.
The beer helmets, the one.
Oh yeah, the beer helmets, 100%.
100%.
But the beer helmet would have to have, who's the one with the long hair? Garrison. It would have to have his long hair attached to
it. So he's got to be the one to wear it, and it gets over so much that no one wants to wear it.
That it's going to be one of those, that you put it on. Like the Zack Ryder vibe. Remember the Zack Ryder headband with the hair?
With the hair.
Yeah, we can do merchandising for ROH. We can write their scripts. We can do everything. This is great.
We really could do the whole show except for wrestling.
Except wrestling. That's the only thing we can't do.
Yeah, that's it. Everything else, we got you covered. I love their nice little slogan. I don't know if I'm
Oh.
gonna forever love it. I kind of hope they switch it up and play with a few things. But win or lose, we booze. It made me laugh. I don't
It's
necessarily
such a
want them
frat
like
boy quote.
right. Exactly.
So frat
I don't.
boy.
I don't want them like saying it in the ring before matches, like the way Jack Jameson did Titty City and all that stuff. And
I hate Titty
you
City.
know,
I think it's so stupid.
we came to eat your butt or like whatever. All those those weird ones. That was one of them. He tried that. He's like,
I
we're
know.
gonna eat your butt for lunch. But yeah, like I don't need to hear it before the match, but I don't mind hearing it, you know, in a little backstage frat chant type of thing as they hype themselves up.
Right. You don't gotta overdo it. Just little sprinkles of it.
I do like the way they were handled this week, where I'd rather see, you know, when you see an act that you want to see more of, when you see an act you're entertained with, when you see an act that's checking all your boxes, you naturally want to see them get W's because you want to believe they're being taken seriously. You want to
100%.
believe that everything written for them is designed to elevate them, not just make an entertaining 10-minute segment or not just getting you a heel stable to face these people every, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we want to see W's, but at the same time, teaming them up with the premier athletes, and not just the premier athletes, but having smart Mark Sterling be a participating premier athlete in this week's match was very smart.
Yeah.
The frat bros don't care about this kind of stuff.
I was also thinking every time you and I get into an in-depth conversation, more so you, about how we're sad that like a tag team is broken up or a stable is broken up, and like you're glad that they're doing other things, and like, oh, this and this, immediately they're back together. It's like a reoccurring thing with ROH. Like Top Flight, we haven't seen them in friggin' forever with what's her name, Layla Gray, all that stuff, and then it's like, oh, they're out again. It's like,
well, no,
okay.
we've seen her with Layla Gray. We like she's remained with them as they kind of feuded with the offshoots, you know, Action Andretti and Leo Rush. But you're right, as far as Ring of Honor is concerned, we've seen her on her own, and they don't come out to her matches, but we finally see her. This was the first time in a while we saw her with them on Ring of Honor TV. In fact, I think the last time we saw them together on Ring of Honor TV, they might have still been trying to stick with the flight attendant gimmick. Right. And she was actually dressed Top Flight approved like that. So,
man, if you didn't come out for my match and we were in a stable, you would have some words. We would be having words and fists.
What if I wasn't booked?
No, you have to come. I'd be like, no Brady, no me.
There it is. There it is. See, that's what Top Flight's clearly not doing for Layla Gray.
Yeah, they don't know how
not doing it for Top Flight.
They don't know how to book properly. And these bookers, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you book them?
I wouldn't have been mad if this match went in place of the heels, obviously for everything we said, but also for some reason in Ring of Honor, I'm more in favor of the idea of champions not necessarily getting pinned, but losing non-title matches that they don't have to get pinned to lose to set up new challengers. So the frat house could have easily gotten put in either the tag team title or the trios title contender simply by the Von Erichs being on the losing end of this. They could have pinned Top Flight, who's, you know, the Outrunners, obviously they're keeping very hot. Top Flight, they're not really committing to like they used to. So Top Flight could have taken a pinfall in this one, do it to one of the frat house bros, and boom, now we can set up a title match. Which, speaking of, if I was writing, I would put the frat house, I would get them the trios championships ASAP. Mm-hmm. However, this is what I would do. Because what do the frat bros? What do the frat bros love to do? They love to party, they love to get chicks, and they love to work out. So this is what happens. They win the titles, whichever three. You can pick the three of them, right? But what happens is every week, a new member of those three will have hurt themselves out with a workout-related injury. And so they won't be able to defend the trios titles, but the fourth person who did not win the titles, he'll fill in for a non-title match. That way you guys can still, you know, put them in a match. They lose damn near every one of those fucking matches. But but never do they defend the titles because every week, I pulled a hammy. My calf is giving out. Oh my God, my toenail broke today and it's bleeding all over. Like just every week, a different workout injury, just causing them to not be able to defend their titles.
And going back on the merch thing, they would take the tag titles and they would make beer holsters out of the sides of them and carry beer in them.
I think these guys are more of workout shakes than beers. At least
They literally said, "Win or lose, we booze."
You're right, but before the match, you saw what they were giving him. It wasn't booze; it was like a protein powder.
It's a protein booze. That's what they're gonna come up with. That's gonna be their new merch. Is protein booze.
Oh shit!
Get you drunk and pumps you up.
See, that's what It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia should have gone with instead of fight.
100%. I knew as soon as I was like, "This is the It's Always Sunny gimmick."
This is where they went wrong. They went straight to milk instead of protein booze. Boom.
Yeah. Protein booze. Is there protein
But
booze?
yeah, I'm excited that they're not wasting any time getting the frat house on TV in the ring with these guys. I hope that we do get some wins under their belt. I hope that they're committed to making these guys a part of the show because I think they can really be a highlight every week they're on TV.
Me too. I 100% agree.
I also think Abaddon is a highlight every time they get her on TV. Surprised they wait so long. Like the gaps between Abaddon appearances and Ring of Honor is always surprising.
Is she like busy? Is that I wonder what the issue is that they don't put her on? Like, is she busy that they don't book her?
I honestly never know. It's one of the and that's another weird thing because they don't have solid Ring of Honor rosters, Collision roster, Dynamite roster. So it's like even if we see her on Collision, there's never a true commitment to pushing her, getting her involved in storylines. So it's like with somebody that's so talented but also so character driven, you feel like it just makes sense to let her run wild in Ring of Honor. Let this be her playground. Let her actually terrorize superstars. Let actual feuds, storylines go where people are just scared shitless of Abaddon. You don't want her booked on the show. Let us see a backstage thing where somebody sees the card on the wall, sees Abaddon, and literally just screams bloody murder and runs out of the building. Give me something
100%.
like that. And then if you give me something like that, you don't even actually have to give us an Abaddon match. I'd probably rip you to shreds for doing it. But technically, you could argue that her opponent just ran the building and
just ran away because they were scared.
Everyone's scared of Abaddon.
You can have Abaddon on without having Abaddon on.
They just need to start. They need like 3 to 5 people every week they're going to commit to in some way. If it's not a match, it needs to be something backstage. If it's not something backstage, let commentary talk about them. Some way to get their names on our brains.
Get the name on the brain.
And it rhymes, so makes sense.
Told you, we're good at making merch.
Just to start writing these down.
Yeah. You're welcome, ROH.
But yeah, Rachel Ellering is certainly a head scratcher. I feel like she just never moves.
Like, what are we doing?
She is.
She's excuse me. She's not a jobber, but like she's
always doing the jobs. She's not a jobber, but she's always doing the jobs.
She's always doing the job. She is talented, but she's just like stagnant. She's just at this place. She's not moving forward or moving back. She's just at this one spot.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think the main problem is the fact that she has no gimmick. And obviously not every wrestler needs a gimmick, and she does have a famous name, so I understand why there's hesitance to do that. But at this point, like we're talking about, she's been doing the same thing for so long, and she's been in the same position for so long. And it's like the closest we saw, it was her and Layla Hirsch. They were like a team, and we were getting that story told, and then they kind of committed a little more to Layla Hirsch, set Layla Hirsch up with some big matches. Rachel Ellering gets thrown aside and forgotten about. most recently, it was like a month or 2 months ago, they're committed to it. Every week we're getting some form of Rachel Ellering and Harley Cameron. We're thinking that's going to be a thing. And what happens? Harley Cameron outshines the shit out of Rachel Ellering. Harley Cameron's star rises because she's doing everything she can.
She's
so
just doing
things.
it right. That you'll talk about her. Like Rachel.
So the biggest everyone's outshining Rachel Ellering. It just keeps happening. Whether you put her with someone like to be as a pair, she gets outshined. If you put someone against her to be a feud, she gets outshined. And that's something where she's got to look inward. They got to look at her. But I also feel like at this point, she needs a freshening up and a gimmick. Pair her with someone who has a gimmick, or who like give a new group a gimmick. But like either way, it's got to be something exciting that draws people to her. Because right now they're drawn to everyone but. And she sold for Abaddon fantastic tonight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, she's a great worker. But Abaddon's going to be the talking point.
Right. I was just going to say, have her join Abaddon and be like, Abaddon's trying to get her to be crazy and do all this weird, like creepy, scary stuff. I'm like, she's not having it. That's a gimmick. Or have a story at least. That's the thing too. Like all her stories are very much the other person out, like you said, outshines her so much that it's hard to keep that story and hard to root for her because the other gimmicks are so good.
Right. And it's like, I was kind of hoping they stuck with her and Harley, because I thought Harley turning her to the dark side would be fun.
Right.
I thought Harley, as we've seen Harley basically turn babyface, I feel like if that happened while she was buddy-buddy with Rachel would almost benefit from that in some way. And both personalities could change, where Harley's being the nice one, but Rachel's getting a little bit loud and dancing to Harley's music. And you know what I mean? Like there's ways to evolve a character by pairing them with another. And I feel like nothing changed from that. Harley just became more endearing to the audience, and Rachel Ellering continues to be forgotten about and moved on from.
Yeah. That's sad.
But we did get Wheeler Yuta back on Ring of Honor. Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see him come back. Former Ring of Honor Pure Champion.
Yawn. I mean, oh yeah, that's really exciting.
Wow.
Yay! What?
You're dripping salt everywhere. That's what.
And drip salt.
You can drip salt. If I take a salty cracker, like a
drip
saltine,
has to do with liquid,
and I put it on the plate, and salt just drips from the cracker right off the plate, right onto the plate.
No, that's
wrong. What you are doing right now. You're a salty cracker, and you're getting your salt all over the place.
Did you just call me a cracker?
A salty one, like a saltine in them light blue boxes.
I don't like those.
What are you talking about? They're fantastic. Crumple them
Oh, saltines.
Nice
you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of those other ones. Never mind. Yeah, I love saltines.
The Wheat Thins?
No, I like Wheat Thins. Not as much as everybody else.
Do people love Wheat Thins?
Yo, my friend is obsessed with Wheat Thins.
I feel like I never hear people talk about Wheat Thins.
Those and Triscuits. Triscuits are disgusting. Those are like the food that you give the animals at the farm. At the farm. You know those little like brittle things that you give the farm animals?
Yeah, no, Triscuits suck.
Yeah. Anyway, Wheeler Yuta
last dessert related comment, and I definitely didn't make this up. I don't know if I saw it in a meme, if it was a TV quote, but it makes sense. How the fuck is Fig the default Newton of all the flavors to start with? How do we get Fig as the default?
Maybe they wanted to try something different because there are all these other.
They were gonna fuck up, and they're like, what do we not mind ruining?
I do love a Fig Newton.
They're fantastic, but like
you can't eat a lot of them.
Even know what Fig Newtons taste like? That's how Fig really?
A lot of people eat Fig. Older people do. Like my mom's friends whip those things like figs out. Like for dessert and like wrap them and shit.
Old people rule the world.
It's like those hard candies that are shaped like strawberries that they always are carrying around in their pockets.
Right, and nobody knows what the fuck it's called, where they come from, but old people have them.
Don't want to eat them. Yep.
Yeah, but you can open it in a movie theater.
Yeah, especially when it's a soft, quiet, poignant moment of the film.
And then you just hear the wrinkling of a wrapper and the old lady that you can't possibly yell at because she's so adorable.
I yell at old lady.
I bet you Wheeler Yuta yells at old ladies. I can see that.
Wheeler Yuta definitely yells at old ladies, but he also
He would
yells at
feel
them
bad
even.
about it.
He also like is the person that tries to go put his hand in the popcorn bag quietly during the movie and just winds up making a mess. Like he knocks
You
it over
think?
and then causes the scene 100%.
I mean, forever is the GOAT in my mind when it comes to popcorn is David Otunga.
Why?
Because David Otunga does two things. A, he has his own little butter spray that he constantly will applying to his popcorn. And B, he goes into the movie theater with leather gloves so that his hands don't get buttery. So
why didn't he just wear latex gloves? But that leather.
They might have been latex gloves. I
He
saw
wears
black
gloves.
gloves.
He wears gloves.
He wears gloves. Yeah. I just
That's
didn't want
smart.
I didn't want to say gloves and you think he's wearing winter gloves. And
No, I understood what you mean. Gloves. Yeah, those like cooking gloves.
But yeah, no, David Otunga is on his popcorn at the movie theater game. He knows his shit.
Want to hear something funny? I don't really eat at the movie theater when I go. Very rare.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't buy snacks.
I need a tub of popcorn. I need the tub.
No, if I go to the Alamo, I'll get food, but most of the time, like my friend will get popcorn, I'll eat a little bit of it, but I never get food when I go to the movie theater. Ever.
I rarely do, especially if I'm doing it by myself, which is rare, but like usually if I have help, boom, we're finishing that tub and getting the refill. If I'm the only one eating the popcorn, I will rarely be able to finish the tub. However, I will finish the large popcorn before the fucking like first half hour of the movie.
Yeah,
so
really,
I need the tub. It's just a necessity.
Impressive. Anyway,
it's really mental health popcorn. I need it.
I like it. I like that. That's your mental health. For your mental health.
But yeah, this was a fun match. Always fun to see Fuego del Sol get some action.
I like Fuego del Sol a lot. Yeah. Not to be confused with Fuego.
Right, exactly. Who would do that?
Nobody.
I think it's interesting when they feature people that are heavily featured on AEW programming.
Right.
In like a special appearance role. And that's Wheeler Yuta, which is like, it's fun because he's one of those wrestlers that does benefit from Ring of Honor ring time. It's a benefit to him for us to see him just on his own, but still maintaining the heel persona of him and his very hated group of bros.
Right.
So like seeing him here, like this is good for see him push someone around, see him take advantage of a size, get a win and not show any remorse. And the way he was holding Fuego after the match,
right.
Like it was great heat for Wheeler Yuta, which he does need because he does come across as the beta, with his group.
Right. Right. So this shows like good dominance and shows like it puts more eyes on him too, in the sense, because like you said, he's the beta that sometimes it feels like he is the beta of the group.
100%. Like, I mean, we're talking about the Death Riders here. We're talking about the champion. We're talking about like these guys are the top of the top.
And then you're like, oh, that guy.
Well, also like they position him like that too. It's just the
right. Right. They definitely do that. I don't understand why. I don't know. I tend to forget sometimes that he's even in the group, which is really sad. And I always feel bad about that because I'm like, oh, I don't, I'm like, oh, crap, that guy's in the group too. I get him confused a lot with, I forgot the other wrestler's name. But yeah, it's really weird that they, it is a weird situation sometimes. And having him come on ROH and be this dominant force and more recognized for his skill and things that he does. I'm not a huge fan of him. He's fine for me, but this is the type of thing where it's like, oh, it's like now, they're showing what he can do. And this was really a really fun match to see. So I'm glad we got to see him a little. Like I said in the beginning of this, when you asked me how I felt about this episode of ROH. This episode of ROH, I like that we had a little sprinkles of people we haven't seen in a while. Wheeler we haven't seen in a while. Abaddon we haven't seen in a while. I mean, Athena was on here and we didn't really you know, she didn't have a match, but we got to see her a little bit. We got to see, you know, Top Flight. I feel like we haven't seen in a while, especially as a unit. We haven't seen them in a while. The premier athletes, I feel like we haven't seen them in a while also. So it was really nice to see other wrestlers we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, 100%. That's always fun. And like I said, with Wheeler Yuta, he definitely needed something like this because we it's easy for us to forget about him when they don't, you know, because he's not the highlighted member of the Death Riders.
Right, exactly.
Billy Starks is certainly becoming a highlighted member as Athena has nobody to give her love and attention to than Billy Starks. Billy Starks is the one and only in Athena's life, for better or for worse.
Oh, Billy Starks comes out so sad. She's just like, she looks so defeated. She's just like, all right, here I come out.
Well, actually, she looked really happy until Athena, like, put her in her place, like, grabbed her and was like, you better not mess this up. And then Billy looked like she was traumatized.
Really? I thought when they were walking down the ramp.
No, like, so when she first came out, it was normal. She was doing her setup, and then Athena, like, pulls her back, like, listen, you better not mess this up. The whole world is riding
I love
on
Athena.
you.
I wish we got to see her in a match. I feel like we haven't seen her in a match in such a long time.
I kind of like it only because I like that they give her different way. Like, if we just see her in the ring every week,
I don't mean every week, it'll be more.
But I'm just saying, if we got a lot of enhancement matches from her, eventually you would get to a track record where the fans aren't booing her anymore. Like in enhancement matches, she doesn't really get booed because it's just a showcase of how good she is. And if fans, especially the fans that are staying for these Ring of Honor matches, if all you're watching is Athena kick ass in the ring, you're cheering her.
Right.
Like, it happens all the time. So I feel like a lot of times the best way to guarantee she comes across as the top heel on this show is let her talk. Let her berate. Let her be the Ring of Honor champion. Speaking of the Ring of Honor champion, we do know Chris Jericho is defending his title against Bandito, and we know that it might actually change hands because it's not on Ring of Honor television. That match is going to happen on AEW Collision.
Not on Ring of Honor, so you know what that means.
Now, granted, I don't really think Bandito has that good of a shot.
Right.
It would be questionable, and it's like, even if he did win, it would be tough to get excited because it's not like they've been using the past 4 weeks as a way to highlight Bandito on Ring of Honor television.
Right. Like, he'll win, he'll come on, and everyone will be like, who's Bandito? Like, if you're not familiar with outside of ROH, like, you'd be like, who's Bandito?
Right. I mean, I think everyone knows Bandito, but it would be, if, like I said, if you're just an ROH watcher, you certainly would be confused. Like, wait.
Ooh, ROH rocker. I like that. Let's call people that watch ROH. ROH rockers.
Sure, let's do it. I was rocking out to the fact that High-Am was Billy Stark's opponent of choice.
I like High-Am. Yeah, that was fun. I was looking down a second and I was like, oh, I have to look to see who she's facing, because, you know, sometimes you like miss that because they go so fast. And I was like, I'm loving this. I was like, this is a good match.
I wish you would have been on the ball for the Gates of Agony match, because that I did not catch who the opponents were for that.
So
one.
They said it very fast.
I heard that, but it happened so fast.
And he said, in case you guys want to know who they are. And I'm like, I do want to know who they are. Can you say their name again? And then their name is never mentioned.
Yeah.
I heard it really fast. Yeah, I heard it really fast, and then I didn't know who it was.
I remember I was like literally in the middle of watching. I was like, God damn it, Gates of Agony. You couldn't have fucking waited until they got announced. Then Caprice is saying them, but it happened so fast. It was just like,
and there was a lot of noise going on.
The names. But also he didn't space the names the way you do when you're telling someone something they don't know. He said it as names almost like we were supposed to recognize them immediately. Like the way you would say, oh, and so they're facing, the members of Top Flight, Darius and, we know those names. So if they say Darius Martin real quick, I'm going to catch it. But I didn't know these guys. I didn't recognize these guys. So all I knew was Gates of Agony dominated the shit out of them. All I knew was that I guess it wasn't important for us to know their names because Gates of Agony were not getting paid by the hour.
Nope. They were just like, oh, boom, we're done. Great.
I like the Gates of Agony are using their after-match time as a way to cut promos. Love that they're using this time as a way to, as we say, maximize their minutes, always declaring their objective. You want to just give us these matches against nobody's fine. We're going to make these matches go as fast as possible until you give us what we want, which is those titles. And it's like, once again, with Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara being champions, it's unlikely Gates of Agony are the ones that take them from them. It's way more likely to be someone like MXM, just because it's more likely to be someone on the heel side. Yeah, and Gates of Agony haven't really been heelish for a while. So it's good. I'm glad that they're doing this, because I don't necessarily know that there's someone backstage in Ring of Honor writing this on paper and saying, so this is what you're going to do. I think it might just be them saying, hey, camera guy, right when we win, just shoot us over here. We got some stuff to say. Right. And them making the most of their opportunities.
Yeah. I'd like to see Gates of Agony. There's a lot of tag teams that I would be okay with having the tag titles. I think Sammy's one of the few people that I don't want to see have the tag. Like, I don't care about him having the tag match title.
I wanted to be okay with it because, as I said, like, it felt like out of nowhere, 2 weeks had passed and Dustin Rhodes had gotten 2 new titles. He's a part of a stable and a tag team. Right. And it's like, okay, if you're giving Dustin Rhodes to Ring of Honor as a veteran who can help the young Von Erichs, as a veteran who can help the struggling Sammy Guevara, who we mentioned earlier, we thought he'd be a little farther along in his career, keeps hitting skids. If that's what you're doing with him, fine. But it's like, as soon as they do that on Ring of Honor, Dustin Rhodes starts getting a bigger role on AEW TV again.
Right.
And it's the same fucking shit. And it's like, I can't tell you the last time I really thought about them having a trio, the fact that they have a trios titles, because the Von Erichs haven't been on TV, and Dustin Rhodes, if he's on TV, is with Sammy talking about that. So you've now taken 2 titles, made them somehow both mean less, despite the fact that their tag division is more competitive than it has been in a while.
Oh my God, such a super competitive tag division. So it's just insane to me that there's so many out there, and you're taking 2 essential tag titles and combining them on people that we barely see, when you could separate them and at least have one of the tag titles on there.
Yeah. It's just they don't plan in advance for this shit. And it's like, if they did that, then you'd know exactly where you were going when they formed the tag team, the stable, made them champions. You would know exactly where you were taking them and why you were doing these things. Like, it really got up to a great start in the beginning, and the fact that we had a tag team title feud that was not just around the tag titles, but also it involved mind games, playing with Dustin about his father, using real life things. You know, they did such a good job. And then poof, let's make sure our Ring of Honor watchers forget all about this. Let's wait a month, and then we'll fucking surprise them. Like, oh wait, remember this? We're bringing them back.
Yeah.
Also, if you remembered the last time we saw Red Velvet, we were questioning about the fact that it seemed like there was a heel turn happening. And it happened out of nowhere, and now we get a video package explaining, yep, you did not imagine that. I am bad now, and this is why. Because I'm done playing by the rules.
I'm bad now. Yep. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. That's exactly what it is.
Go ahead, continue.
I don't remember the rest of the song. Is that how it goes?
I don't mean remember that. Continue the song. That's the last thing I want you to continue. Continue talking to me about Red Velvet and your reaction to her being a heel.
I thought you meant continue the song.
No.
I'm like, I only know that part of the song.
No.
I was like, oh no, I only know one part of the song, Brady. I love her
the
as a heel.
Part anybody knows of that song.
I think she's fun, except during the video package, them having her repeat why got a little annoying. I was like, why does she keep saying why? She was just like, why?
I mean, because that's what everyone's asking.
Yeah, I know, but I don't need it 15 times. You could have gave it to me about 8 times.
She got it 15 times. That's the point. She got it 30 times. She got it 50 times.
I mean, I guess.
That's the point. You don't know her struggle. You don't know how many times she got.
You're right, I don't know her struggle.
Why?
Yeah, but I'm loving her as a heel. Her heel tactics, her heel wrestling, I love it. I think it's great.
I mean, the true Red Velvet character is really a heel, and we've seen her go
100%.
back and forth. But like, if you're getting introduced as you're straight out of your mama's kitchen, you're not supposed to be the good girl. You can get cheered, that's fine. But either way, your character's got some badassery to it.
Sometimes it's very hard to be a face. I mean, we've talked about this for years, that I feel like it is hard to be a face sometimes. And sometimes female wrestlers have a struggle being faces and coming across. I can't explain it. Sometimes when they're baby faces, it's hard to, without, if they're not like a hardcore and putting like sass on it face, it comes across a little corny sometimes for them. So sometimes I think when they lean into their
Red Velvet never fit that bill though for me. She always did have that spiciness that made a good baby face.
She did.
And seeing her team with Queen Aminata, seeing her stand up to Athena, they did use her properly, but that was so long ago. And we've said it in the past where
she
it's
needed
like,
to evolve.
We don't know how many. There aren't that many heel contenders for the TV title right now. There are a little bit more babyface contenders as we see more women switched over to that role. It seems like Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TV might have both been switched over to babyface role or going towards there. It seems that Harley Cameron's full babyface. Harley Cameron could easily stroll back to Ring of Honor and be a TV title contender.
She's hilarious.
That'd be fun.
Harley Cameron's hilarious.
She's so good.
So funny. She's just like, I'm going to do such silly gimmicks. I'm going to have pictures. You know what it is too? It's like the meme aspect. That's a big thing too. When you get a gimmick across and your like face is a meme or something, like it works.
Well, that puppet was just genius.
Oh my God, that puppet.
Really.
I want that puppet and Lily in a fucking match.
She got the puppet so over so fast. And
so fast.
I mean, my mind was blown by the fact that like, because when you first meet the puppet, she's off screen. So I'm imagining them just doing something funny that you could do with anybody, only for them to pan out. And I'm like, wait a minute. This goddamn woman is a ventriloquist too?
Right.
Like what? And she's not bad. She's good. She's good.
You sent me the video and you're like, what can't this woman do?
Legit, bro. She's a singer. She's a rapper. She was a model before all this. Became a wrestler because she enjoyed it. And now we find out she was a ventriloquist too. Like, what?
I love it. I think it's fun.
I mean, I love people who have a collection of talents. Like, I love the fact that Shayna Baszler is a talented magician. Like, to me, that's like very cool. I love stuff like that. So knowing that Harley,
like she does the spades because they do card tricks, right?
Right.
That's probably it. Or did I make that up?
I mean, they also call her the submission magician because she's a magician. But yeah, she's
love rhyming.
Well, everybody loves rhyming.
Like the Colossus of Clout.
Like that's right. The Colossus of Clout.
The Colossus of Clout. Shut up, Tommy.
You know what? The Colossus of Clout would be a cool nickname for Big EJ. Like they just start calling him the Colossus of Clout.
I'd be okay with that. Why don't we have a Sandlot gimmick? We need a Sandlot gimmick for someone.
You give someone a 2025, a nickname in 2025 and call him the Colossus of Clout, and he's super tall, and clout means like a million things nowadays. Everyone's trying to get the clout. So EJ, take that from the Sandlot, brother.
I've also decided every week when we do our show to say this every time this person's in a match. Komander doesn't have bad matches.
He really doesn't. But also Lee Johnson doesn't have bad matches.
No, Lee Johnson doesn't. But Komander doesn't have bad matches. Like good storytelling. Like
it's frustrating. And we talked about it last week. We were talking about like, why are they back to the Lee Johnson is TV title contender? Well, if you're not going to commit to that, like, why are we all the way going back to he's like we're highlighting him by giving him a title match that he's going to lose. It's like we saw that happen like 3-4 times last year.
Right.
Here he is. He's a heel. He's got a new partner in crime. He's ready to rise again. I don't know, like, and they didn't follow it up with like a post-match angle, so it's just kind of okay, cool. Let's give Lee a really good match again. Let's remind you once again that he's really good, even though you're supposed to hate him now.
I think EJ did a really fantastic job of being his person on the side. Like, I think that was great too. He did great during that match. He really
I thought there was a chance they might actually give us a 30-minute time limit draw, which I would have been in favor of. I would have thought that.
Who did they do that to recently? Him? It was him, right?
Well, yeah, but it wasn't. It was him out. It was him lasting the 10 minutes to win the proving ground match. Yeah. Right. That's how he got this championship match. But if they would have then had the championship match go the 30-minute distance with the same result, no winner, I think that would have been a very creative way where you save both, you keep this going. Lee Johnson has something to talk about. You couldn't beat me. And that creates a little more anticipation for the next match. And then even if he loses, you still got to stretch that out for 2 to 4 weeks where he does get a little bit elevated from the program. But instead,
this would have been the episode to do it too, because they didn't do a flashback episode.
Right. For the record, I love it. So like last week we didn't get a flashback, and I was hoping. It was the cruise, I think. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I was hoping it was more than just the cruise. I was hoping they're like, okay, because it's the cruise, we won't need one, and it wouldn't even make sense. Let's do this and see what the reaction is. And I was hoping that the reaction would be the exact what ours was, which was like, thank God, no flashback match. You don't need them anymore. And then this week we got, I think it was 6, maybe 7 matches and no flashback. And I was just like, that makes me so happy. Do not need a flashback match. If you're going to give me 6, 7 matches, just make it all current talent in Ring of Honor.
Right.
So
I'm okay with that. Yeah. This is a really great match. Komander doesn't have bad matches, and he's really become the face of ROH. He's become the champ of ROH.
The TV champion regularly does get put into that role, you know.
And that's okay.
Fletcher, no, that's the way it should be. I would like to see a little bit more Lee Moriarty and the Pure Championship getting defended, which is funny because I'm not always a fan of Pure Rules matches, but I want him and his title to also be a centerpiece of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they should have a triple threat pure match, strap match, so you and I can turn it off 2 minutes in. That's like my worst nightmare.
Right. Let's finish up with our main event. It was what began this show, our watch along. This was a lot. This was a lot of luchas. This was a lot of high flying. This was a lot of stuff happening.
There were a lot of cool stuff going on, but there was a lot of mishaps that I was like, did someone miss a spot? Was that a botch? It caught me a little off guard. It looked very last minute pieced together. So I wasn't really a big fan of this match. There were definitely cool spots and cool moments that were happening. And these are all talented wrestlers. I just don't know if they wrestle well together.
I think that Dark Panther should not have been wearing black. I understand that's probably his gimmick. He's the Dark Panther. But considering all 3 members of the heel team were wearing black, Fuego was so loud with his yellow outfit, and Sammy is Sammy, it did get confusing a lot of times when sometimes you almost thought Dark Panther was teaming with Hechicero. Only to remind yourself, oh, wait, no. And then the spot you're talking about was when Dark Panther and I think it was Hechicero, might have been Soberano, but they're both running towards the ring looking like they're both going to fly out, which wouldn't make sense because there was nobody there to fly to. And then I believe it was Hechicero, or one of them does like a 619 move where, you know, like the fake where they come back in, and the other one just flies out. And it's like, I think I'm supposed to believe that the 619 counter was done to fuck with the ropes, and that's what caused him to fly out. But it really just looked like one jumped out of the ring for no reason and one didn't.
That and the move right before that where they both kind of just landed on their backs, it looked like an invisible man like did a move on them. They both just kind of fell.
And then there was one where Fuego did a move that, like, it looked like he was going to take him back, but then he stops, picks him up, and it looks like they're setting for a tombstone, but then he kind of just drops him back down.
Yeah, that
and it's
too.
Like, wait a
that
minute.
was weird
Yeah.
too.
It was like, wait a
Outside the
minute.
ring, right? Outside the ring?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that move was weird too. It was a very weird match. I don't really know what was happening.
I mean, it's a lot of times it's different in the styles, you know, that CMLL from Mexico. A lot of times, like, they just, and especially when you have a match called Lucha Rules.
Yeah.
And I don't even really know what Lucha Rules means.
Yeah, I'm not
other
really...
than as a fan, I go into it knowing people are going to be flying around every fucking second. And so, yeah, I think especially with a 6-person tag match, all Lucha styles, with a Lucha showcase where they obviously wanted to put the CMLL talent over and, you know, introduce them to an American audience as they have been doing.
Right.
And we obviously saw the team that had all CMLL members be the winners this week. So obviously this was a showcase for them. But it did feel like a lot was going on. A lot was happening. And some spots were executed perfectly. But obviously the percentages just aren't going to be 100% or even close to it with this style and with this rapid fire execution.
Definitely. There were definitely good spots. And there was moments where it's like, oh, shit. Or, oh, wow. Like stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this is really impressive. But then there was a lot of like, but why did he do that? What was the point of this move? What was the point? Like, you know, and like, I don't know if it was a botch or it was intentional. That was the thing that threw me off a lot.
And then there's also like the best thing about this match, and I'm not taking anything away from the in-ring action, but as a wrestling fan, we're watching it for everything, right? I'm not just watching this for in-ring. I'm watching this to be have a story told to me. I'm watching for advancements. I'm watching for, you know, I'm watching the tag team champion and how he's being treated. And of course, we're watching outside the ring as, you know, MXM Collection, who's in possession of one of his tag team titles. They've given it a makeover. They're celebrating having it and being the champion. They even are giving a shout out to their partner, Dustin Rhodes. He challenged them the way a true tag team partner does. Like, they're doing more to make us care about the tag team titles than anybody is in Ring of Honor. And they honestly did more to make us care about this match. Like, you know, like they were like, because you're looking at this match and you're like, wait a minute, I just watched Komander and Lee Johnson have an amazing championship match. Why is that not main eventing? Why is this the main event? Other than because you want to put over the CMLL talent, as these are big deals, these are special appearances, and of course, Sammy's probably the most well-known champion you've got on tonight's show card. So you're like, okay, let's do that as the main event. But really, MXM getting involved during the match, getting involved after the match, that's what continues the story. That's what sells me on wanting to see what happens next with Sammy, with them, with the tag team titles. So, like, MXM Collection did a lot of heavy lifting in a match they weren't even in.
They were, to me, they were the most entertaining out of the match in the entire thing. Like, they were the ones really telling the story, in my opinion.
100%.
Right.
100%. And I love the story they're telling.
So great.
I even loved at the end where, you know, they're playing tug of war. Mansoor's got the title, Madden's got the title, but they've got Mansoor, and then Mansoor makes the decision, the executive decision, save yourself. And Madden does it. I thought Madden was gonna like watch with pain in his heart. Nope, he saved himself. He sprinted.
That would be me.
With
straight to the back. Nah, that's not true. If you were getting dragged, I'd beat down. I'd do a beat down.
Not if I screamed, save yourself. You would take that and run with it.
No, I wouldn't. I would be like, don't tell me how to live my life. And then I would jump in the ring.
That's exactly what you would do, actually. 100%. You're right. You'd be rebellious to both of our ends. That's exactly what would happen. Save yourself. Fuck, we both don't die.
I'd be like, don't tell me how to live my life. And then I'd run in.
Bang.
I'd just beat everybody up. I'd be like,
but yeah, love that.
Friend. Yeah, it was
that
fun.
The baby faces lost the match, but then we're still kind of able to end in the ring celebrating. Love that MXM was able to be a nice focal point. We end it with them. They're just so money. They're so good, and it's like
so good.
We thought like the Righteous, with the work they did in that feud, we thought it was a no-brainer to put the belts on them. For whatever reason, they chose not to and to go into a different direction. Once again, I'm in that position where it's like, with everything MXM is doing, the fact that they're making me care about these titles in ways Sammy and Dustin haven't come close to doing, I don't see any way this doesn't get them the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Like you're
it
just
doesn't
not,
make sense if they don't do it. Yeah.
You're not paying attention. You're not doing your job properly if you don't understand that these guys, like I said, have made these titles so exciting that you just got to get them on them. But also, these guys are going to continue making the tag team titles exciting. They're going to continue making the division exciting. They're going to continue making the show exciting. These guys are complete and utter X factors.
They're so fun.
Such fun. A valuable act.
And having the titles on them would just mean so much. And I would love to see the backstage segments and all the packages and just them having the title and coming out with it. Like, it'd be so good.
Like, I mean, we're already getting
we're already getting a peek into
simply out of them stealing one of the titles. So yeah, imagining them actually as champions is just like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Guys, thanks again for tuning in to another edition of Mark of Honor. It is our pleasure to talk Ring of Honor with each other, and it is even bigger pleasure to talk Ring of Honor with all of you guys. We will see you next time. Never, ever forget that we're not just smart marks.
We're heel marks.